Hello, this is Ankit Reddy. Welcome to .NET course from educators.com, world's best online training tutorial for the leading technologies. Today, let's discuss about control structures. In the previous session, we have seen that while loop and do while loop. While loop checks the condition first, then it executes the statements. But opposite to that, do while loop execute the statements first for first time, then it checks the condition. We have seen with an example as well. Today, in this session, we'll discuss about for loop and for each loop. The for loop syntax is as follows. A for is a keyword, then initialization, then condition, then increment or decrement. Then the statements will be there. So for loop will be keep on iterating this until unless this condition met. So a for loop is very similar to while loop. In a while loop, we do the initialization at one place, condition check at another place, and modifying the variable at another place, whereas for loop has all of these at one place: initialization, condition, increment or decrement. Now let us see with that an example. A for loop is very similar to while loop. Remember that in a while loop will be initializing at one place, condition check at another place, and modifying the variable at another place. Let us see with an example. For that, let me open Visual Studio. I'm initializing int number is equals to 5. Then for loop initializing I'm doing int I is equals to 0. Then I, the condition less than 5. Then I value is incrementing by 1. Remember that this I is plus plus means is equals to I. This is as same as I is equals to I plus 1. Remember that. Now we want to print the values. Console dot write line I. Okay. This is how the statement will be keep on printing that I value. Now we wanted to see the output. To wait for this console application till we close. Let's run this program and see the output. See, you can see this 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is because initially I value is 0. 0 is printed. Then 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me show you with debugging so that it will be clear for you guys. Just I kept a debugger point. Now, line by line execution always go with F10. Number is 5 here. I value is 0. Then it will check the condition. I is 0. 0 is less than 5. Correct. So it will come here and print. Then after this printing, it will get increment here. Then it will check. I value is 1. 1 is less than 5. Let's print it. Again, I value is 2. Next, I value become, here it will become 3. Now see, after executing that, I value become 3. 3 is less than 5. Correct. Next 4. 4 is less than 5. Correct. After that, we have printed I value as 4. Now it will increment I value as 1. Now I value become 5. Is 5 is less than 5? No. The condition become false. So it will be coming out of that. This is how a for loop will be getting printed. So what it is having, it consists of 3 parts. We initialize a variable for counting this I value. We initialize this and set up a conditional statement to test it. This is the one, conditional statement. And then we increment the counter. This is called counter. I plus plus. The first part where we define the variable I variable and set it to 0 is only executed once before the loop start. You would have seen this. Let me tell you again quickly. See, cursor will come here only first time. After that it won't go. See here, it is not going there before the for loop start. That's what I'm talking. So the first part where we define the I variable and set it to 0 is only executed once before the loop start. The last 2 parts are executed. This one, I is less than number and I plus plus, are executed for each iteration of the loop. each time I is compared to our number variable. If I is smaller than number, the loop runs one more time. After that, I is increased by 1. This is the place I am talking. Okay, let's take another example to write a program to display a table of given numbers. I don't want to disturb this, let it be. Now what my intention is to display table of a given numbers. For that, let me declare integer number I result. So not like every time you need to declare separately like this, integer I again. It is not like this. You can combinedly declare. You don't need to declare int every time. So it is not required. Just remember that. You can declare all the variables at a time. This is how I did. Console dot write line. Write line is used to write something on a console. We are asking user to enter a number for a table to display. Enter a number. Then number is equals to int dot parse of. To read it from console, we will be taking console dot read line. Now we will be getting number whatever user typed from the console in the variable called number. Now I am taking for I is equals to 1. We have already declared I as an integer, so I am not going to declare again here. Here I have not declared I variable here, so inside that I have declared it inside this. I is equal to 1, then I is less than or equal to 10. This is the check condition I am checking here. Then I value I am going to increase by 1. To print that tables, let us see. Result we already have this declared, right? The same thing I am taking here. Result is equals to number into I. Now we need to print that table. How to print that? Zero into num comma I comma result is equals to 2. Then we need a console.read key so that we can see the output. Otherwise we cannot see the output. It will print and it will close by itself. Now let us have this. Enter a number. I am going to enter a number 5. Fifth table we have got it. 5 into 1 5 till 5 into 10. Now let me take you through the breakpoint. Go through the F10. Now user is asking enter number. This time I print 6. Now this will execute only once. You can observe that now. I value is 1. 1 is less than or equal to 10, right? Then result. Number we have already 6. That is what user entered. I is 1. Number into I. Number is 6. I value is 1. Result will be 6. Now that will get printed. Now I value get incremented. Number is 6. It won't change. I value will be incrementing every time 1 1 1. Now 6 result will be 12 because number is 6. I value became increased 1. 6 into 2 12. Then it will get print 6 into 3. So if you don't want to go to line by line, you can always click on continue. Like this we can see this output. Hope you understand this for loop. For loop will be similar to like a while loop. In while loop we will be having initialization at one place, condition check at one place and then incremental decremental value at another place. But here everything will be at a single place. We can have like this. Then let's move to another looping structure, control structure in C#.NET. That's called for each loop. For each loop syntax as follows: for each, then variable name in collection, statements. What for each is? For each loop is a different kind of looping construction in when compared with the while loop, do while loop and for loop. For each is entirely different. So in C# programming, that will include this initialization, termination and increment with the other loops. Initialization, condition check, then increment or decrement with the first three loops: while loop, do while loop, for loop. But this is not the case with for each loop. There is no initialization, there is no condition check, there is no increment or decremental value. It uses a collection to take value one by one and then process them. Let us see that how it will be. For each loop is a different kind of looping construct. Doesn't include initialization, termination and increment or decrement characteristics. It uses a collection to take value one by one and then process them. Let us see with an example, then only we can understand easily. For each demo. Let me take string type array. In future classes, you can understand arrays. As of now, just think that I'm taking a string type array. Array is equals to new string of size 5. I've taken a size 5 string array. Then we can initialize the values. Array's index starts from 0, so only I am taking 0. Here you can take whatever you wanted to store, names or city names, whatever it is. I am taking country names. Let me repeat it. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So as its size is 5, I have taken 5 index. This is called index. Array index starts from 0. USA, UK, Russia, India, China. Like this I have taken. Now this is called declaring the array, and next step, these 5 things are called storing the values. Then how to retrieve these values? With for each, let me explain. Just see that syntax. For each variable name in collection. So you need to understand that which type of data you are dealing with. This is of type strings because it is wrapped up in a double quotes. So remember that in C#.NET, whatever you see the data within double quotes, that is called a string. So I am taking a string type country in. Where is this? In a collection called array. Just take that and you can print the statement. Console.writeLine of whatever you want, you can print that country. Then in order to see the output without closing automatically, take like this. Now let us see this. We'll be getting like this: USA, UK, Russia, India, China. This is how for each loop. For each loop is a different looping constructs in C# programming that doesn't require initialization, termination or increment or decrement. Nowhere we have seen, right? This is how it will be like for each loop. Now we'll be getting a doubt that what is the difference between for loop and for each loop. Let me write down that so that you can easily remember. Differences between for and for each loop. You may get an interview question also. For loop iterates a statement or a block of statements repeatedly until a specified expression evaluates to false, meaning that till it meet the condition false. Here, if I reaches 11, 11 is not less than or equal to 10, right? So it will fail here. That's what I am telling. For loop iterates a statement or block of statement repeatedly until a specified expression evaluates to false. So for each loop is used to iterate through the items in a collection. For each loop iterates, it will be keep on iterating through the items till it completes the collection of items. How many are there? It will see that. So if it is having 100 items, it will keep on going one by one. And with the performance, for loops are faster than for each loop. Remember that. Performance wise, for loop is better than for each loop. Again, there is advantage of using both, each having their own advantage. Suppose it depends on what you are doing and what you need. If you are iterating through a collection of items and you don't care about index, then for each is good. Suppose, let me tell you that if you have collection of items and then you don't care about index, you can always use for each. And you need to process every second item in a collection of, for example, then a for loop is very good way. Suppose you need to process, if you need to process every second item or third item in a collection, then for is a good choice. So performance wise, for loop is better. If you don't care about index, please go ahead with for each loop. Hope you understand this. So let me recap it once again. For loop is having initialization, condition and increment decrement at the same place. It is as similar as while loop, but all these things will be in a same place. And for loop is very similar to while loop. I said here for each loop it will be having collection of items. It won't have any increment, decrement, initialization, termination, anything. It uses a collection to take value one by one and then process them. Compared to this differences, for loop iterates statements or block of statements repeatedly until a specified expression evaluates to false. For each loop iterates through the items till it completes the collection of items. Performance wise, for loop is better than for each loop. If you have a collection of items, then you can go ahead with for each. If you need to process every second item or third item in a collection, then please go ahead with for loop. Thank you. We'll meet again for the next session.